Peace, peace. Peace to the family. All right, we're going to open up with libations with Mama Rashida. Give her a big round of applause.
Person, so I think I can respect my good, but if not, I can, okay. So we want to remember our ancestors. We started with the drum, and we want to remember those great ones who came before us, on whose shoulders we stand. Had our ancestors not been here, we wouldn't be here today. Is that right? So we want to remember them. If we stand tall, it is because we stand on the mighty shoulders of those who've gone on before us. So we call on the name of our great creator, who's known by many names: Allah, Jah, Jehovah, Takanchalawankantanka, Aludamare, Nami, Gao, Great Spirit. We call on the creator of us all, and we all say, Ashe. We pour libation to those that sit at the foot of the creator, the Neteru, the beings of light, the Orisha, and we all say, Ashe. We pour libation to those who came from that spot of ground known as Africa, the birthplace of and home of civilization, right? And we all say, Ashe. We pour libation to those who came in the hulls of slave ships in the Great Ma'afa across the Atlantic Ocean, and we all say, Ashe. We pour libation to those of our ancestors who worked on plantations of terror from sunup to sundown, and we all say, Ashe. We pour libation to those great ones, those freedom fighters, because we never accepted slavery. We were always trying to find ways to be free. Let's call out their names. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Call out their names, y'all, our freedom fighters. Malcolm X. Call out their names. Call out their names. And we all say, and I'd like you to remember the line of people that you hail from, the line of people you come from. Were they not here, you would not be here. Call out their names. Betty Barrett, Summerfield Turner, Larry Arvin, and we all say Isaiah Foreman Bay. And we all say, we pour libation to those born, unborn, remembered and unremembered, and those of our ancestors who courageously stood up for justice, freedom, and truth. And we 3 times say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Thank you, thank you. Test. May be seated, fam. Sorry. If you could, let's think of some static. Is some static in this one? Let me try this one. Testing, testing, testing. Sound all right? Just listen. I'm gonna bring it up. If you could stand for the African pledge right quick. I'm sorry, when I had y'all sit back down, I forgot about the African pledge. Put your black fist in the air. Repeat after me. Pledge allegiance to my people, the African race, the original man and woman of the earth, and the founders of civilization. I pledge to continue the struggle, which will help to bring my brothers and sisters to total freedom. I pledge to study and discipline myself mentally, physically, and spiritually, so that I may grow into a soldier for justice, because my people need strong and intelligent warriors. I pledge to live my life standing tall. For a person on his or her knees is not respected. But if I'm challenged, then I must say that I will not surrender my position, my dignity, but instead, we shall endure until the final victory is won. Ah, shit, you may be seated. Get yourselves a round of applause. Let me try this one right here. That microphone. It's a microphone right here. No, microphone. Oh, and my phone. Testing. All right, family. We always like to say, with Soul Violence Nation, reality speaks. We say, how the Africans feel, and as loud as you can, you say, the spirit is strong, definitely strong. Can we do that? I don't know. Some people are like, no, not tonight. No. Let's get Brother Nuri up here. How the Africans feel? Oh, no, that was weak. Come on, let's try one more time. How the Africans feel? All right, cool. Thank you. Thank yourselves a round of applause for coming. All right. So just real quick to give a couple of acknowledgements right now. Talking about Black love. And I just wanted to say, give some props out to a couple of my queens that's in the building today. We have with us my sister. I wanted to talk about my sister Patrice. She right there. She put her head down. But give her a big round of applause because she's here representing Mama Mayat. For those that know, Mama Mayat will be at every lecture that we ever had. So this is one of the probably one of the largest lectures that we have attempted since Mama Mayat has went to the realm of the ancestors. But my sister makes sure that she's here representing for my mama, Mama Mayat. So she's in the building representing. So we appreciate her. And then I want to say for my queen, Monica. To give Monica a big round of applause. My queen. And we trying, y'all, on that Black love thing. It ain't easy. It ain't easy all the time. We've been doing some different things. We completed a 3-day fast that we just completed yesterday because we're trying to do some pre-commitment and dedication to each other. So give her a big round of applause. Inspired by her. And then I got my queens, Kamaria, Naya. We have little Mecca in the building, and Nia's not in the building. I got 4 daughters, and I finally got a son, little Jabari, who's around here somewhere in the building. And I also, right quick, wanted to give a shout out to Mama Rashida. Mama Rashida, the reason why we're here today. Big round of applause. She worked her butt off to get us here today. And we want to apologize about the air situation. We thought that the air was going to be on. We was told that it was going to be on a few hours before. They did cut it on, but it don't seem like it's on. So we tried to open up the windows. I'm sorry. Look, I've been doing this for 29 years, right? I've had all kinds of lectures. I've had cold lectures. One lecture we called the igloo lecture because it was so cold, people was breathing smoke out their mouth. This one right here, we probably gonna have to call the safari lecture, right? It's a little hot right now, but we thank y'all for coming out. Nevertheless, give yourselves a round of applause. Black love is in the building, so we want to get ready to bring Brother Nuri up. Now, Brother Nuri Muhammad, like I said, I've been doing this for 29 years, and we've had everybody from Dr. Wells and to Dr. Ben to Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, to many of the great soldiers and sisters that we've had. But I've watched this brother for years, and I always said, I got to get this brother here to town. This brother has been hot on the internet. He's been blowing up millions of hits all throughout the internet. And I said, we got to get this brother here to town. I talked to Brother Andrew, and we had to make it happen. So we appreciate this brother, his works that he's been doing throughout the community. So brothers and sisters, without further ado, give it up to our dear brother, Brother Nuri Muhammad. Give him a big round of applause, family. As he comes up, I forgot one of my queens, my mother-in-law, Sister Nancy. Give Nancy a big round of applause. Miss Nancy, she holds it down for the family all the time. Give her a big round of applause, family. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that irregardless to land, language, label, creed, class, or color, race, religion, or ritual. No matter what name you call him by, there is but one God. We thank that one God for his many messengers, warners, and prophets. We thank him for granting us 4,000 years ago with Moses and the Torah, 2,000 years ago with Jesus and the gospel, and 1,400 years ago with Muhammad and the Holy Quran. I stand before you today, the beautiful sister and brother soldiers of Baltimore, as the student and servant of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I could never thank Almighty God, Allah, enough for his merciful intervention in our affairs in the form of a well-made man named Master Fard Muhammad. We thank him for coming among us and raising up in our midst his messenger, Messiah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we thank the two of them today for preparing one in our midst that is, without a shadow of a doubt, a divine leader, teacher, and guide for you and me, a man that we are so happy that God blessed to turn just a few days ago, 91 years of age. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is in good health and he's in good spirit. To my brother Jabari, thank you, soldier, for being, where's my brother Jabari? Thank you, soldier, for being on the battlefield for 29 and a half years. That's how long John Hawkins was trying to get us into slavery. And it's only fitting that it's just as hot in here as it was when we got on the slave ship back then. But the difference between Jabari and John is that John Harding Hawkins lived among us on the Nile River for 29 and a half years, never telling a lie to gain our trust, to get us on the slave ships, to get us from on a 9,000-mile journey from Africa to America, to break us and take us from being the proud, powerful, pious, and productive people we were, and Caucasianize and Christianize and Westernize us and break us down as a people. So when we went through that heat of the 29 and a half year commitment to a struggle to make a slave by John, we became a broken people. But Brother Jabari has been on the battlefield doing these kind of programs for 29 and a half years, not to break us, but to repair us as a people. So let's give it up for our brother, Brother Jabari. Thank you. Thank you so much for putting this together, my brother. I wanted to today, let me see if I can make this thing stay up. Oh, there we go. We got motion. Oh, there, they got to tighten it up. All right, we good. Today we have the great task of really unpacking two subjects in one lecture. And the subject is how to love a black woman and how to love a black man. Whenever this flyer went out into the atmosphere, Brother Jabari, I started getting hits. Well, I'm gonna just tell you, from the brothers. And they asked, why you put how to love a black woman first? Why not how to love a black man? And I said, well, my brother, it's because a nation can rise no higher than its woman. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that when you teach a man, you teach an individual. But when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. He said that mother is the first nurse, the first doctor, the first teacher. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said like this. He said, mama is God in baby language. Then he said this, there's no such thing as a no good woman. Any no good woman was made that way by a no good man. So if there's going to be something done that's going to get us up as a people, then we have to go after the first person that is the shaper and the molder of the sons and the daughters, and that is the black woman. Okay, only 3 of y'all agree with that. That's all right. Right now, only 1 in 4 eligible black women that are adults are actually married. So in the white man's economic system, we as a people are the last hired and the first fired. But in this social system, the black woman is the last married and the first divorced. 2/3 of all black children today grow up with a single impoverished black mother as their primary care provider. Something must be done. And we were in Pittsburgh and doing a press conference, and they asked a question. They said, why is it so important for you all to be talking about the family? And the thought came to my mind, I believe, from the Supreme Being. And I said this to the press, and I'll say it to you today, and tell me if it sounds like it's the truth. I said, we will never get the hood right until we get the home right. It's only whenever the home becomes that spiritual recharge center that we can unplug from this no good, wicked, white supremacist world and come back to an environment where there's nothing but love in the atmosphere. We can plug into it and extract from that environment both peace and power. But right now, just as it was whenever there was the North versus the South, in the American system historically, whenever there is a civil war, you are ineffective at any other external war. Well, we as a people right now, we are in a civil war. Black people killing black people wholesale. Oh, y'all didn't know that. Oh, maybe it don't happen in Baltimore. But in every other city. Do you know that in a 3-year time period, 2,000 to 3,000 black males are killed by police officers or correctional officers? But in that same 3-year cycle, 25,000 black males are killed by other black males. So we are dying from the police and the COs, but we are dying 10 times more from our own hands. In the world right now, not only is there a civil war where black men are taking each other's lives, but there's also a gender war going on. Black women versus black men. Black men versus black women. And it goes way past YouTube and the internet. You'll find that even in the homes where people call themselves husbands and wives, they are at odds with one another. And I'm going to say this to my sisters. The last thing that a black man wants to come home to after fighting in this world is to have to go round 2 with his own woman. And the last thing, brothers, that a black woman wants to come home to after fighting in this world is to come home to a man that ain't been fighting at all. Okay, sisters. Okay, hold on. Where's the cameraman? Time out. Look, we gonna do a take 2. Sisters, there's gonna be some stuff I'm gonna say that had you said it, you know it would create a problem. But since you're not saying it, I'm saying it. See, when I say it, it's gonna hit his mind one time. But then if you say, that's right, go ahead, clap, amen, hallelujah, something, then you have access to the ricochet effect. Come on. And that means that he'll hear one time from my mouth, but if you clap or bear witness, then the ricochet effect kicks in and it doubles the absorption capacity of the subconscious mind of that black man and makes the point go home. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all want to try it again? Let's take 2. We're going to start with you, brothers, to see if y'all with it, all right? The last thing that a black man wants to come home to after fighting in this world is to have to go round 2 with his own woman. Oh, that was weak. I'm going to show you how to do it. Watch it. Now, when the sisters do it, you'll see what I'm talking about. And the last thing that a black woman wants to come home to after fighting in this world is to come home to a man that ain't been fighting at all. Brothers, how did y'all see me set that thing up? I did a whole tutorial with the sisters. Then I doubled back and gave you a chance to chime in and get your... Never mind. Y'all all right? So, if we are going to be serious about saving black people, we've got to get serious about saving the black family. For where there are no strong marriages, you can't have a strong family. And where there are no strong families, you cannot have a strong community. And where there are no strong communities, you cannot have a strong nation. This means that marriage is the cornerstone of all nation building. We have to figure out how do we get along well and stop the civil war between the man and the woman. And for the record, this gender war that you see played out on social media, this didn't start with some brother sitting behind a desk in a dark room talking about a high-valued man versus some sisters that was doing some FaceTime with him in the process. No, this gender war, male versus female, female versus male, black man versus black woman versus black man, started in 1712 with Willie Lynch. He was hired by the American slave masters as a business consultant. You do know that slavery is a business. Y'all didn't know that? I didn't say was a business. I said is a business. See, the goal of anybody that starts a business is that you want to create procedures and bylaws and job descriptions that allow you to have that business moving and making profit without you have to exchange your own sweat equity. The goal of anybody that starts a business is to convert that business into what is called a turnkey operation, meaning that I don't actually have to be there doing nothing and telling nobody nothing in order for it to stay in motion. Well, whenever the white man started slavery, it was a business. He wanted to create a turnkey operation. Something that will be in effect that will still render the results without there having to be somebody standing there with a whip or a rifle to beat somebody or instruct somebody. He wanted it to be self-refueling, self-perpetuating. So whenever in America in the early 1700s, white people were looking at too many black deaths on the plantation, they noticed that there was a slave master in the West Indies by the name of Willie Lynch, who has successfully created a system that he had maximum productivity from the slave, minimum rebellion, and a low casualty death ratio. So they hired Willie Lynch to come to America, and they had a convention, and he presented what he called a foolproof plan for the control of the slaves. He said, gentlemen, this plan has worked well for me on my modest plantation in the West Indies. And if you implement it for 1 year in America, the slaves will become self-refueling or self-perpetuating for 300 years, maybe even 1,000. All I've done is I've outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I make them bigger than what they really are. Y'all didn't hear that. He said, I put the old against the young and the young against the old. I put the one on a small plantation at odds with the one on the big plantation and vice versa. I put the light against the dark and the dark against the light. He said that it would, if you implement it for 1 year, it will be self-refueling, self-perpetuating for 300 years, maybe even 1,000. 1712, 300 years is 2012. You know we was the same in 2012. And here we are in 2024 on another cycle, getting ready to keep the same stuff going. I was out on the block one day, Brother Andrew, soldiering with the brothers. And one of the brothers that was soldiering with me has that beautiful, beautiful black skin that I wish I could get sometime whenever the sun shows up. And it broke my heart. A sister told the brother, you know what? You pretty cute to be so black. As if black ain't beautiful. All the hues. And we got plenty of them. You got yellow, you got high yellow. That's me in the wintertime. Now, summertime, I get to get that brown, that caramel brown, that butterscotch. I'm on my way to toffee in 3 weeks. Oh, I don't even change my emojis from the summer. All my emojis is still dark skin, even when I turn white in the winter. But we brown, we dark brown, we black. Some of us blue black. Some of us blurple. That's so dark that you can almost see another color coming through. That's that beautiful. But the sign that what Willie Lynch put in motion in 1712, light against the dark, dark against the light, is still in effect. For that sister to say this in the modern time, you pretty cute to be so black. No, the blacker you are, the more cute you are. But she didn't understand that. When you're light skinned, they call that fair skin. But fair is an expression of justice. Think about that for a second. You got straight hair, you got curly hair, they call that good hair. Good is the correct conduct. Hair don't have conduct. You can have hair that's more manageable, but it can't be good or bad. Is that right? Back in the 70s, they used to have a saying: if you're black, get back. If you're brown, don't hang around. But if you're yellow, you're mellow. And if you're white, stay because you're right. Sickness among us as a people. Male against the female. Female against the male. This didn't come from social media. This came from the white man putting us against one another. You know why? In 1798, when Napoleon was hired by the European governments of this world, he was hired to destroy all images of what we will call black excellence right now. So he went into the mystery schools and destroyed all the images of the black inventors. He went inside of all of the temples and the cathedrals and the houses of worship and destroyed all of the images of the black messengers and warners and the prophets. Y'all didn't know that you didn't know the messengers was black? The scientists say there's been 24,000 prophets in the last 6,000 years. I'm here to tell you, brothers and sisters, that 99.9% of them look like you and me. They were black like us. If they weren't black, why come when Moses said he stuck his hand into the bosom of the Lord and when he took it out, it was turned white? Well, if it was turned white, it had to go in black. Abraham, who's considered the father of the righteous, the father of the prophets, the father of monotheism. I don't care what religious denomination or religious group you go to, whether it's a Muslim, a Christian, or a Jew, all of them salute Abraham. Is that right? But when Abraham was in Egypt, he was mistaken for being an Egyptian. But the word Egypt comes from the Greek word Ieptis, which means land of the black and the burnt skin people. Well, if Abraham was thought to be an Egyptian and Egypt is the land of black and burnt skin people, Abraham had to have black burnt skin too. David said, the wisest, the one that's said to be the prototype of Jesus, David said that he was black. His son Solomon said, I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem. Well, wait a minute. If Solomon is the seed of David and he's black, and Jesus said that I am of the root and the offspring of David, I am of the seed of David. If one seed of David, Solomon, is black, and Jesus is another seed of David, Jesus must be black too. You say it don't matter what color Jesus was. Well, hell, it mattered to somebody, because the scripture said he had hair like lamb's wool and feet like brass that had been burned in the oven. Brass is already brown. You put fire on brown brass, it turns black. Lamb's wool is not straight curly hair. Lamb's wool is nappy hair. So if Jesus had hair like lamb's wool, nappy hair, and black feet, he was a black man. His mother Mary was an Egyptian woman. Egypt is in Africa. If it means land of black and burnt skin people, how could he have a black mother and not be a black baby? Whenever they were trying to kill Jesus, an angel told Joseph and Mary, rent a camel and flee into Egypt and hide Jesus there. Well, another word for hide is camouflage. Is that right? When you're camouflaging, you're blending in with the color of the environment. So whenever the armies in the jungle, they wear green fatigues because that's the color of the trees. When they're in the desert, they wear beige because that's the color of the sand. When they're in the snow, they wear white fatigues because it blends in with the color of the snow. When they're on the night mission, they wear black because it blends in with the darkness. Well, if Jesus was camouflaged in the land of black and burnt skin people and he did not get caught, that means he had to blend in well with the environment. He had to look like the people he was among. But after they got finished, after Napoleon went and destroyed all of the images of black greatness, he came to this great statue that was a stone that was 150 feet long. In Egypt, they called it the Sphinx. He went and seen the Sphinx that had the body of a lion and the head of a black man on it. So Napoleon and his army trained their cannons and blew off the nose and the lips of the Sphinx so that later on down the line of time, we wouldn't know that was us on that lion. I know what they told us in history class. They say, well, you know, that the reason the nose and the lips have gone away is just from what natural weathering and erosion. Well, hell, why come the wind and the sand didn't blow the tail off? Why come the mane is still intact? Why come the claws are still there? Why only was the nose and the lips affected? It's because they knew that if they intended to make us a slave, that we couldn't see the image of a lion with our head on it and be easily made into a slave. Because through deduction, through reasoning, through logic, through analytical thought processes, we would have said, well, wait a minute, if my ancestors put my head on the body of a lion, and by deduction and reasoning, the lion is the king of the jungle. If the lion is the king of the jungle and my ancestors put my head on the lion, maybe they're trying to tell me I'm the king of this planet. And it's a whole nother mindset that comes with that. Then to top it all off, written underneath the Sphinx is Arabic words that says Abu el-How, which translates into English as father of everything. See, it's hard to make a black man that believes he's the father of everything a sharecropper. It's hard to make a black man that believes he's the father of everything a slave. It's hard to make a black man that believes he's the father of everything to be a heroin addict or a crack addict or a drug dealer or a gambler or an alcoholic. See, when you think that of yourself, it gives you a certain level of confidence that you feel too big to reach down and do all that madness that we're doing right now. So Napoleon, after destroying all of the images of the black messengers, the black prophets, then he went, destroyed the Sphinx, blew the nose and lips off. Then he went inside this pyramid where the Sphinx is outside of the last living wonder of the world called the Pyramid Giza. It's 451 feet tall, goes down into the earth 451 feet deep. It covers 13.5 acres of land. It's made of 1 million blocks of gold, marble, and granite, each stone weighing 3.5 tons apiece. And with that much size, that much weight, each stone is stacked mathematically precise, not even deviating 1 square inch up in the air, down into the earth, east to west. And we built it without John Deere or Caterpillar. We built it without a bulldozer or a crane. When we were back in our original self, not eating swine flesh, back in our original self, loving one another, back as our original people, not selling drugs, not using drugs, not gambling, back in our original self when we loved the black woman and the black woman loved her black man, when we were eating right and thinking right and doing right and treating each other right. We had power and access to something called psychokinesis or telepathy, which means we were able to put mind over matter. We didn't need the crane or the bulldozer. We could say to a thing, be here and over there, and it would be moved. All pride, praise is due to Allah. So after Napoleon went inside this great pyramid, Giza, you say, what does all this have to do with how to love a black man and how to love a black woman? You can ready to see. After he destroyed the images of the black Moses, the black Job, the black Solomon, the black Abraham, the black messengers, destroyed the features of the Sphinx that were black features, he went inside the pyramid Giza and noticed that every time he seen one of the black male gods, his woman was right there with him. So now, if you take a tour of the pyramid Giza, you will be able to see Osiris, but next to Osiris, it looks like somebody's been scraping. You can find Alafun, but next to Alafun, the black man God, you'll see where somebody's been scraping. You can find Osa, but next to Osa, you'll see where somebody's been scraping an image that used to be there. And what used to be next to Osiris was his queen Isis. What used to be next to Alafun was his queen Ilida. What used to be next to Asa was his queen Aset. What was our ancestors trying to tell us? They're trying to tell us that the power base of the black nation has always been rooted in the black family. But Napoleon didn't want us to know that. Three things that you notice whenever you see Osiris and Isis and Alafun and Ilida and Osa and Aset. One thing I noticed is that there was no men with men and no women with women. Did I say something wrong? Next thing I noticed is that Isis was Osiris's queen, and Aset was Asa's queen. All of them were in a committed relationship with the one they said they loved. There wasn't no boyfriend and girlfriend going on. See, I only got one sister and one brother that agree with that. What is a boy and what is a girl? In the dictionary, a boy and a girl are underdeveloped male and females. What you look like being 54 years old as a man talking about you got an underdeveloped, immature female as your mate. Third thing that they notice, sisters, y'all ready? Y'all watch basketball at all? This podium keep on. It's determined to break my iPad. Here, let me have it. This is what we'll do. Well, Brother Jabbar, you got to give me a new iPad. No, it's okay. It's all right. It's good. It ain't gonna work. This is an advanced karaoke machine. Y'all still all right? Yes, sir. Well, I ain't even been using it anyway. I'll put it right here. How's that? That ain't gonna fall, I don't think. Where was I? Oh yeah, y'all watch, sisters, y'all watch any basketball at all? How many of y'all know what an alley-oop is? That's whenever somebody throw the ball by the rim and you just catch it in the air and dunk. I'm gonna throw y'all alley-oop, all right? I said there was no men with men, no women with women. They wasn't boyfriend and girlfriend. All of them were in a committed relationship. And I noticed that none of the great gods, not one of them were with a white girl. Oh, sisters, I thought y'all did better than that. As hard as, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Do you know in slavery, it used to be against the law for a black man to marry a black woman? But now you almost got to make a law to get him to do it. I'm telling you, one of the main reasons that you've been complaining all these years about how these brothers skip over the beautiful black woman that looked like their mother, their auntie, that cared for them, their grandmama that took them in, and they go and pick some white girl that don't have no connection, no relativity to nothing of the struggle. And I'm sitting there. Y'all want to try it again? Okay. One thing you notice is that, number one, there was no men with men. No women with women. All of them were in a committed relationship, wasn't no boyfriend and girlfriend. In fact, we did a word search in 2,000 translations of the Bible and in 72 different translations of the Quran, and we looked up the word boyfriend and girlfriend. Do you know, out of looking up the word boyfriend and girlfriend in 2,000 translations of the Bible, 72 different translations of the Quran, we couldn't find the word boyfriend and girlfriend nowhere? This means that boyfriend and girlfriend is not in the language of God. Question is, whose language is it in then? Yeah, I'm coming down the court. Y'all sisters, y'all ready? Y'all with me? And last thing, there were no brothers that was with no white woman. Oh. And I'm going to tell you something, brothers. Do you know the sisters can tell when a brother's with a white girl, even if the white girl ain't even around? As a matter of fact, even if you see a brother that is in a relationship with a white girl, he act like he not when he in the public. He in the mall, she about 9 feet away. Every time he see another black person, he go there and start looking at the Foot Locker, playing with the shoes on display, acting like he ain't with it. Do you know the reason why a black woman can know that a black man is with a white woman? It's because whenever a black man is with a white woman, he's a little more punctified, soft, and weak than whenever he's with a black woman. Let me tell you something. It takes a certain amount of strength. It takes a certain amount of spiritual testosterone for a black man to be with a black woman. It's an easy thing to coast along with some little white girl that has no expectations, Brother Samson, because she's your Delilah. You didn't know that Delilah was a Philistine and Philistine people are Caucasian? Samson was a black man, he had locks. It's written in the 2nd chapter of Kings. It says, and Samson slumbered with Delilah. You know that all the rulers were trying to defeat Samson. But in modern language, he was too black and too strong. So they couldn't break him with the collective armies or the individual warriors from the various nations. So they sent a white girl after him to break him down. And it says in the scripture that while Samson slept, she cut off his locks and he lost his strength. Well, hell, Brother Jabari's a barber. He can tell you that cutting a Negro's hair don't make him weak. Matter of fact, when a black man get a haircut, it almost make him strong. What, am I telling the truth? When a black man leave the barbershop, he feel like a new man. He talk different, he drive different, he walk different. When he come into the shop, I'm saying when a black man go to the barber shop, he got a hat on, but ask any barber, most of the time they forget their hat. So cutting off Samson's locks would not have made Samson weak. But the outside reflects the inside, so teaches the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. It wasn't a blend of hair on top of his head that made Samson strong. It was the blend and the integration and the intertwining of knowledge and wisdom and understanding into 3 lines made into a braid that made him strong. So whenever he got with Delilah, Scripture says in 2 Kings 5 and 8 that Samson slumbered with Delilah. And Delilah gave her the keys to her Ford Escort, her credit card, told him that he did not have to go to work anymore. He could just play video games every day. even if he beat her up, she would still be the what? Now this is not the King James version. This is LeBron James translation. But you know that's what happens to that black man. Every 5 years or so, they have what they call the ICDH-9 book, which is the book of symptoms, where they name and label a osis or ISIS or something. And you know, I want to submit a new disease to the book. It's called Beckery. Beckery. What? Y'all remember Beyonce's song, right? She's talking about Becky with the good. She's talking about a white girl. What is Beckery? Beckery is the mental and emotional castration of a black man as a direct result from a long-term relationship with a white woman. Beckery. I submit to you that a white girl is a gateway drug. You know what a gateway drug is, right? See, if you smoke cigarettes, it's only a matter of time before you start smoking something stronger. Is that right? So a gateway drug is a drug that leads you into a drug even worse than the drug you own. I submit to you that if a black woman can tell that a black man is with a white girl, even whenever he's not with the white girl, I submit to you that they can tell because he's more punctified, more weak. So the longer you are with a white girl, the more punctified, the more weak you become, until eventually you become a half of a fag. Did you hear what I just said? They will punctify you. Now you better get you a black woman. Osiris had a black woman. Osar had a black woman. Alafun had a black woman. Why? Because the power base of the black family, the power base of the black nation has always been the black family. Y'all still all right? To wrap this up, we want to get into the gender-specific commands on how to love a black woman and how to love a black man. Do you know that even whenever you desire to get the same results from a recipe, depending upon where you are baking the cake determines the recipe? If you buy a recipe for a chocolate cake, the recipe will be different in New Orleans than it will be in Denver, Colorado. Because in New Orleans, you have it's the lowest point in the nation. And Denver, they call it the Mile High City because it's the what? Highest point. So based upon positioning of an environment determines the recipe that you need to use to get the same result. I submit to you, black man and black woman, that we cannot afford to follow white people's rules of operation on relationship. We have to have a special recipe that came from the master chef, God himself, that is exclusive and specific and gender specific to the black man and black woman if we want to be able to get the right results when we bake this cake. Y'all still all right? So there's a verse in the Holy Quran that says that Allah created us in pairs. Y'all didn't hear that. If we are created in pairs, then we are born to be with each other. Only 5 of y'all agree with that. Created in pairs. Okay, let me ask you this. How are our eyes created? How are our hands created? How are our feet created? How are our ears created? In pairs. If you have one eye or one foot or one leg or one ear, you're called handicapped. You're not dead, you're alive, but you're handicapped, meaning that you're going to move slower towards your destination and get less done because you're not your whole self. So whenever the eyes that were created in pairs has one missing, you're handicapped. You can't get as much done or as fast as you like to get it done. So it is if God created the black man and black woman in pairs. We're not independent, we are interdependent. So when a black man don't have a good black woman, he's handicapped. When a black woman don't have a good black man, she's handicapped. Oh, you can still get stuff done. But with one eye, you can't see as good as you could with two. With one arm, you can't build as fast as you would with two. With one leg, you can't make progress as fast as you could with two. And whenever the black man does not have a proper and a correct relationship with a black woman, he can get stuff done, but not as good as he could if he had the right woman with him. Are y'all all right? So the male, in the Holy Quran, God says this, and the male is not like the female. Wait a minute, you created us in pairs, but we are interdependent. We are supposed to get along with each other. Without having one, we are handicapped. Then you tell us that the male and the female are not alike. So now, if we are created to be together, but we are different from one another, then there has to be gender-specific commands that make me become and do as I should as a man to get the best out of my woman. And there's a whole nother system as a woman for you to work if you want to get the best out of your man. So the general rule for success is to treat others the way you desire to be treated. But when it comes to a black man getting the best out of the woman, he can't just treat her the way he desires to be treated. He has to know her nature and treat her the way God created her and vice versa. So in the book of Ephesians, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan lifted this verse from the Bible. He said in Ephesians 5:33, if you unpack it, you get the gender-specific commands to a man on how he can get the best out of his woman and how the woman can get the best out of the man. It says, and husbands. Did y'all hear that? I said husbands. Security, y'all ready? The man is not the head of the house. The husband is. There's a difference. You say, but you know, that marriage thing, it ain't nothing but white man paperwork. Why I got to go to the white man and get some paperwork to prove that I really love you? And yeah, you talk about paperwork when it comes to getting married, but you don't say nothing about paperwork when it comes to getting that driver's license. You don't say nothing about paperwork when it comes to getting that car loan. You say nothing about paperwork when you got to go get that job. Paperwork, you don't say nothing about paperwork when you got to get a gun permit. So you'll fill out paperwork as a man to get you a pistol. You'll fill out paperwork as a man to get you a plastic car with your face on it that gives you permission to drive. But you won't fill out paperwork to get you the best help you ever could get, and that is a wife that's made for you by God. No, I'm going to tell you something. Listen, sisters. If he doesn't want you to wear his last name, that means he's still thinking about somebody else. He ain't totally sold that you the one. You're still in the G League. You in the G League. Oh, all the teams in the NBA got a G League team. They wear the same colors, but they don't have the same names. See, when you actually play for the Lakers, you get your name on the back. But when you're in the G League, you don't get your name on the back. And sisters, if he's not willing to put his name on the back of your name, you still in the G League. You have not yet made the team. So if you have not yet made the team, why in the hell are you giving him all the benefits of someone that is committed to? He ain't signed no contract. Okay, all right, y'all. I'm just saying. You say, but I mean, what are you trying to say? That I'm not supposed to be giving him the benefits of a relationship if he's not committed to me? Let me tell you something. If he's not willing to get down on one knee for you, you shouldn't open up two knees for him. Did you hear what I just said? You say, but if I don't do it, somebody else will. Let me tell you something, sisters. If all he wants from you is breasts, legs, and thighs, send his ass to KFC. If that's all he wants is breast, legs, and thighs, send his ass to KFC. You got plenty of breast, legs, and thighs over there. Let me tell you something, sisters. You got to come off that clearance rack. You got to come off that clearance rack and get back behind the glass where the real valuable stuff is at. See, when stuff is on the clearance rack, it's got different color hangers and it's been stepped on, dropped on the floor. It's a size small on a large hanger. Picked all through, don't match nothing. But if you go to a jewelry store and you're looking at fine jewelry that has value, you'll see at the top of the glass a note that says that we're only allowed to show you one item at a time due to its value. I'm saying that to you, sisters, if you really knew your value, he would only be able to consider you as one item at a time. You wouldn't be lined up in the middle of a whole bunch of costume jewelry because you're not a costume jewelry. You're more precious than diamond, more precious than gold, more valuable than rubies of the earth. You're the second self of God when you know yourself. So you should treat yourself accordingly and make him do the same. Are y'all all right? I know it's hard, black man, to be committed. That's because we are not being successful in our purpose for living. I ain't got time to go into all of that. But the more that you are performing in accord with your purpose for living and you are successful. Let me tell you something, black man. Every man has within himself a built-in self-validation system. It's based off of who we are, what we do, and how much money we make doing it. Am I telling the truth, brothers? I don't care what the whole world thinks of you. If you know that you got a drinking problem, if you know that you are a liar, no matter what everybody thinks about you, you're going to be bothered with yourself. So the who you are is determined by the character you know about yourself. What do I do for a living? Is it legal? Is it honorable? Am I scamming, scheming? If I'm not, then that what gives you pride? And then, based off of what I do, how much am I making in comparison to other people that do the same thing I do? And when you are a man and you know that you are 10 toes down, stand up, back straight, you say what you mean what you say, your word is your bond and bond is life. You speak the truth regardless to whom or what, and you have courage and you have wisdom and you have morals, then that who gives you pride? If you're a man that do something and you know what you do is honorable, it doesn't violate the laws of God nor the rights of my fellow man, and I'm making good money doing it, that kind of man has the highest approval rating for himself from his self-validation system. But the minute that you don't have that going on in your life, you start looking around to conquer a whole bunch of women. Because at the end of the day, if I ain't winning on the inside, let me see if I can win some of these on the outside. And since if I can win her over, I get pleasure from it, then that pleasure I get from it, even though it's not the same long-term pleasure I get from success, is good enough for me. And if I stack enough of them up together, I feel like I'm a real man. Napoleon Hill. Anybody else, have y'all heard of Napoleon Hill before? You ever heard of the book Think and Grow Rich? I don't have time to go into all of that, but I'm just going to drop this on you real quick. You have to be a millionaire long before you ever get $1 million. You didn't hear what I just said. I said you have to be a millionaire long before you ever get $1 million. means that it has to already be in the mind, in thought form. And that thought form of vision with a plan work will produce the reality. Prayers are not answered according to faith while we're talking. Prayers are answered according to faith while we are working. I don't care what no cracker come out from no law of attraction and the secret and got you thinking you can sit in a room playing some classical music and just thinking about what you want and you're going to magnetize. No, it don't work like that. You got to have the law of attraction followed by the law of action. You cannot have $1 million dream and a minimum wage work ethic. Does this make sense? I don't even know why I'm even talking about that. It's necessary. So, this verse says to us as men, husbands, now you must love your wives as you love yourself. Did you hear me talking about how black Moses was? How black Abraham was? How black Solomon and David and Jesus was? Do you know why they put so much energy at making a white Jesus even though they knew he was black? There's a man by the name of Dr. Dale Jones that did a write-up that he calls Psych Wars, where they took black people's brains and put them under sophisticated brain scanning devices and measured the impact that certain lies had on the brain. Now, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that lies go against the grain of the brain. That lies actually destroy brain cells. Lies put your brain cells rotating in the opposite direction of their nature. So let's just say that brain cells are made to think moving right. Right? You got 14 billion brain cells, and then you've got an average of 60,000 thoughts per day going in a circular motion around these 14 billion brain cells at the average speed of 24 billion miles per second. And do you know that whenever you have anything spinning in a circular motion, that it produces one or two forces, either centrifugal force or centripetal force? Centripetal force means when an object spins, it sucks things toward it. Centrifugal means when an object spins, it repels things away from it. Your mind is so powerful when you think a thought moving around your brain cells at 24 billion miles per second, it creates both centrifugal and centripetal force. It begins to attract to you people, situations, and circumstances that match the nature of your thoughts, and repels people, situations, and circumstances that are opposite your thoughts. Y'all with me? So your mind is a magnet. That's why Solomon said, as a man driveth down the street. It don't say that? As a man haveth in his pocket. As a man weareth. As a man what? So is our life is our mind turned inside out. What we don't have is a direct result of what we don't know. It didn't say my people are destroyed from a lack of money. My people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. That's one of the reasons why we're not successful in this thing called loving the black woman and loving the black man. We're trying to use feelings. But it takes more than feelings to be able to grow love. You got to have facts. It takes more than emotions. You got to have knowledge. So we got to learn how to love each other. So the Lord or the world says that man must love his wife as he loves himself. So brothers, before you even go looking for a mate, you got to learn about you. You have got to baptize your mind into a rich knowledge of self.
You got to learn about people that look like you that accomplished great feats in the past. Multiply by remembering that we are created in the image and likeness of God. That means that everything that's true about God is also true about you. So when you learn the knowledge of great black people in the past, you got to multiply that by everything you learn about God. Because what you learn about God is also what you learn about you. Mix that together. Now you love self. Now you can find you a mate. See, a man that does not know where he's going does not need any help getting there. Hell, if we don't know where we're going, we're already there. Y'all with me?
Sisters, they did a study, and you tell me if they were accurate. They went around the world in 2012, and they looked at all of the women around the world from various nationalities, and they interviewed them on what do they want from a man. And when the list came out, it was 4 basic things that they wanted from their man. Number 1, they wanted a man that would be loyal to them. Women have a track record of being one-man women. But men do not have a track record of being a one-woman man. So she wanted someone that she had confidence in, that had a connection to God and morals, that whenever she was not around, he would not be with another woman. Loyalty. Second thing that the women said they wanted a man that would love them. Do you know what love is? Love is not a word. Love is a verb. It's actions. Y'all still all right? Now, I wish the sisters wasn't here. I'm going to tell the brothers something, that there are some words that you can use that will melt a woman's heart and make them feel the love you have for them. I wish they wasn't here to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Sisters, close your ears real quick, please. Brothers, real quick. 3 things you can say that will touch your woman's heart like nothing else you could say. Number 1, out the blue, sporadically, I love you. Number 2, watch this, I miss you. Sisters, am I telling the truth? Then number 3, you know, baby, you are so beautiful. Now you got to use these with the right timing now. You can't stack all of them up. We was in Miami, Brother Andrew, we was in Miami, and a brother and a sister was outside the hallway. I was in the office, and we had done a lecture like this, and they was out there kind of going back, arguing with each other. Not real serious, but arguing with each other. And I had just told the brothers what I just said. Look what this brother did. He said, but hold on, wait a minute. I love you, I miss you, and you're beautiful. You can't put all of it at the same time in a nasty spirit. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that love anticipates need. So when you love someone, you're always studying them. You're listening to the things that they want and the things that they need, and you're trying to get it for them before they ever have to ask you for it. See that, sister, y'all did all right on that one. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice, sisters, if you could just be in the mall and say, "Ooh, I really like that bag," and 3 days later it's gift wrapped on your pillow? Wouldn't it be nice if you just said, "Man, I really wish that there was a way that we can get us a new furniture set," and 2 days later you got you one? Love anticipates need. Let me tell you something, brothers.
if you really want to go all the way up, and you don't even have to spend no money, do some of the things that she does for the house without her knowing or her asking. When she comes home, you already made dinner. When she comes home, you already cleaned the house. When dinner is over, she went upstairs to change clothes, and when she come down, the dishes is already washed. Try that out and watch love be in the atmosphere. Are y'all all right? In the Holy Quran, there's a verse that talks about before a man tries to be intimate with his wife, it says, and send forth good beforehand. We thought that was just foreplay. A couple minutes before we try to get into bed, we want to hug and smile and kiss and touch. But sending forth good beforehand is things you got to do days, sometimes weeks in advance. Try it out. Love her. The next thing they wanted a man that would listen to them. I don't know if you all have seen this yet or not, but notice that the male is not like the female. Women have to talk it out, but men like to think it through. Just two different natures, and you got to accept each other's nature as it is. As a woman, you can't make your man talk it out when he's born to think it through. A man likes to be able to figure, that's why the man has a chair. Y'all don't have no chair? It's that one spot you sit in all the time. And when you see your man over there and he's in deep thought, don't keep crying. Baby, what's wrong? Oh, everything is good. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm straight. Now I can tell something's not right. Please talk to me. No, I'm fine. Okay, I'm working it out. Everything's going to be good. It's fine. See, a man does not want to be a burden to the ones that he's supposed to be lifting the burden off of. So a real man wants to see his wife float through the house and his children have a joyous life at the pain of his own sacrifice. But if you keep prying and asking him to talk, now he's got the problem itself, and then he got a new problem because he didn't lay something on you that he didn't even want to give you. So let that man think it through. But brothers, we've got to learn the art of listening, because she's going to want to talk it out. And she remembers everything. That's why they call it motherland, Mother Africa, Mother Earth. Because what you put in is what you're going to get out. Oh, the woman remember everything. You thinking everything going okay? You over there playing footsie? And she like, well, I wanted to talk to you about something real quick. Something you did the other day. What do you mean did the other day? What are you talking about? You don't have no clue. You don't remember 3 Tuesdays ago, around 8 o'clock in the morning, right downstairs by the refrigerator? You said such and such and so, and I said so forth, and then you said such and such. She wants to talk it through. So a man got to be a good listener. And listening is not standing there shaking your head, looking away from the person talking to you, faking like you agree with what they say just so they can get finished saying what they say and what I was going to say to you. No, listening means that you actually try to put yourself in their shoes and feel what they feel and why they feel it, and then answer accordingly or adjust accordingly. Y'all still with me, brothers? The next thing they said is they wanted a man that would make them laugh. You see, I'm putting them in all L's. They didn't do it like this, but I'm putting it in L's so we can remember. We got loyalty. We got love. We got listen. Is that right? And we got laughter. Do you know that a sense of humor is a sign of security? See, a woman wants to know that no matter what's going on in the world, that there's nothing that could happen in life that's going to fluster my man to the point that he's not a pillar of my home. No matter what goes on, he's so strong, I can always lean on him. And whenever things start going awry and you can make a joke about it, keep a positive attitude from it, then she knows she got a strong man by her side. Now I'm going to say this as a disclaimer. You have to tell jokes at the right time now. Here it is, the winter time, and you getting home from work, and the heat then got cut off in the house. No lights, no heat. Everybody in the couch, sitting on the couch, freezing in the dark, and they got their coats on inside the house. This ain't a time for your sense of humor to kick in. Coming there talking about, hey, how's everybody doing? I got a joke for you. Why did the chicken cross the road? She gonna say, probably because the heat's still on over there. Going over there to get warm because you didn't pay the bill. You see what I'm saying? Next, they said they wanted a woman or a man that would be a hard-working man. Brothers, our women will respect us even if we make less money than them as long as we work harder than them. Am I telling the truth, sisters? So she didn't just want a man that was loyal. She wanted a man that would love, that would listen, that could make her laugh, and that could put in some labor. Work. See, as a man, you got to be a hunter. As a man, you've got to be a go-getter. As a man, when you wake up, you got to have in your mind, I got one or two options, either make moves or make excuses. And I ain't making no excuses. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said excuses are equivalent to sin. And the wages of sin is death. So every time I make an excuse, I'm gradually killing myself. Y'all still with me? A real man knows that he's got to be a producer. He's got to create resources. He got to bring money into the home. Is this true? You know, I have a saying this. This is a saying I used in my life for many years. That if you woke up broke, you had no business going to sleep. So because I knew I was going to say that to myself, I knew there's some way I can go get some money before I did go to sleep. So I'm going to find some good, some product, or some service that I can engage in to make sure that when I wake up, I got some money in my pocket. Does this make sense? And black man, I'm going to tell you something. The greatest asset you could ever have with your wardrobe, it ain't your shoes. No, greatest thing you can ever have to add to your wardrobe is a smile and a bankroll. Now, you got to have cash on you at all times. Smile and a bankroll, you'll be all right. Okay, yeah, never mind. Y'all don't believe it. So, can y'all give me 7 minutes? 7 minutes. I might need 9 because I got to get to the sisters on how to love the black man. Take 20. All right, she said I could take 20. I got one person to agree. The rest of y'all leave. That's on y'all. I get, all right, 15. 15. Loyalty, love, listen, labor, make them laugh. And one of the other ones that they didn't put in there that I'm going to give to you, that I got it from the minister, he said this: a lazy man will never be a good husband, and an ignorant man will never be a good man. So you can't just be loyal and listen and love and make somebody laugh and labor. We also have to be learned. You have to be wise when it comes to science
scripture, the empirical knowledge of this world, current events. You have to be that positive soundboard that she can bounce any subject off of, and you know how to give it back with some substance. A learned man, an ignorant man will never be a good husband. So brothers, you got your list, right? Sisters, y'all ready? It says, and husbands, you must love your wives as you love yourself in Ephesians 5:33. And look, and wives, you must respect your husbands. Look at the word. So in order to get the best out of a woman, the verb is love. But in order to get the best out of the man, the verb is not love, it's respect. Don't get me wrong, women need respect and love, and men need love and respect. But for a female, love is water and respect is food. And for the man, respect is water and love is food. We need them both, but you need water more than you need them all. So if you want to get the best out of your man, you don't make him laugh and labor and no, the way you get the best out of him is you got to show him respect. Do you know that most of the time that a man that gets taken by another woman was complimented away from that woman? The social scientists have found that men generally gravitate wherever the applause is. Did y'all hear what I just said? The more someone praises and compliments, that's generally where the man's going to go to. Let me tell you something, sisters. That's a secret formula on how you can get your man to do something without even knowing you got him to do it. See, most of the time we like to talk about what somebody's not doing. The stick don't work on a grown man. You got to use the carrot. Listen to this. Praise what you want to raise. Whatever you want to see more of from your man, whenever he does a little bit of it, make over it. You would like him to put his clothes up more often. Okay, maybe y'all don't have this problem in y'all houses. But if he puts his clothes up one time out of the whole year, soon as he puts his stuff up without you saying something, you got to have a celebration. Oh, baby, you don't know how much it means to me that you picked up your clothes and put them in the dirty clothes. I know you be tired and don't feel like, I know it's a lot of work to pick that up and go 4 inches over into the clothes hamper. I know that 4 inches is just a lot to ask for after a hard day's work, but baby, I really appreciate it. Maybe don't say that part. But you'll find that the more you praise what you want to raise, the more he's going to gravitate toward it. So the word respect, you can convert that into an acronym. You know what an acronym is, right? An acronym is whenever you have a word, but every letter in the word represents another word. Like CIA is an acronym. It stands for the Cocaine Import Agency. FBI finding a black man to incarcerate. Media most effective devil in America. NAACP, Negroes always asking Caucasians permission. That's what it has been. I'm just saying. Pope, protector of pedophiles everywhere. Now I'm just saying that's what's been going on now. Okay, respect as an acronym. This gives you a formula, sisters, on how to get the best out of this man. The first letter is R. That simply just means revere and honor that man.
Think about the things that he does that you like and try your best to stay consistent at thanking him for them, even though it's part of the job description of being a man. If he buys groceries, thank him for the groceries. Whatever he does that he's supposed to do, still show appreciation for it, because if you praise it, you'll raise it. Whatever you applaud, he's going to want to gravitate toward and do more of it. So if you praise the little he does, pretty soon in that category, he's going to do a lot. The next letter is E. This stands for esteem him. Esteem. There's a difference between self-esteem and self-worth. We always tell our children we want them to have a healthy self-esteem. It's better for them to have a healthy self-worth. Self-esteem is what you think about yourself based off how other people see you. But self-worth is what you think about yourself based off of what God said about you and what you see in the mirror when you look at yourself. You don't want to have people's opinion as the definition of who you are. You want the opinion of the Lord of the worlds. There's a saying that I have. I say this to myself every now and then. I will not allow my self-image nor any other perception to be shaped by non-scriptural concepts. In other words, if God didn't say it, I don't accept it as my self-image or any other perception. So if he said that I'm in his image and after his likeness, I don't care what nobody else has to say. If he said that I can do all things in Christ, I don't care what nobody else says. Make sense? If he said I was created you in the spirit of not in timidity, but in power, love, and self-discipline, that's what he said. That's what I have. Yes, does this make sense? So when you esteem him, you show him respect in front of people that he respects. Complimenting him in the house, in the quietness of the room with nobody around, has one effect. But now you compliment him in front of his partners, compliment him in front of people he respects. I just got to say this about my husband. I know y'all been knowing him all his life, but I want you to know this is the greatest man that I have ever met. He is so hard working, so forth, so forth. Watch that. You see that man, I don't care how dark he is, he'll still blush. But if you praise him and respect and honor him, not just in the private, but in the public, it's going to go a long way in getting the best out of that black man. The next is the S. This means that you have to bless his sight by keeping yourself beautiful. Sisters, y'all okay? Security, y'all step up just a little bit. But we might... Yeah, I'm going to step back here too. So sisters, it's not good that you dusty with a bonnet on inside the house. That you ashy and don't even put on lotion in the house. But as soon as you go out into the world, you done lashed it up, powdered it up, swooped it in, tucked it away, and now see, what are you saying to the man? You saying I care more about being beautiful to the world and strangers than being beautiful to you. Now let me tell you something, sisters. Y'all still up here? Don't lock your knees because you might need these. Sisters, I don't know if you notice or not, but watch this. Watch how the brothers respond, Brother Andrew. Men don't even like makeup. Huh, brothers? Am I telling the truth? I'm not saying that when you in the house, you got to be walking around with no gown on and cartooned all up, but there's a such thing as being cute and comfortable. Let me tell you something. All you got to do is have on a nice little leisure outfit on with a slick back hair and some Vaseline on your lips, and the man's going to say, you're beautiful. He don't need no lace front. He don't need your bangs all the way down to here. You don't have to have on the camel eyelashes. You don't have to have all that. Just be you. And whenever you bless his sight by keeping yourself beautiful for him, not just the world, but for him, it goes a long way to get that man's love out of that man. Y'all still all right? The next letter is P. Again, show your man for whatever goals you know he has set. When he makes any progress, show him, express to him how proud you are of him. Y'all with me? You know he's been trying to lose weight. 2-3 months he's been working out, trying to eat lettuce and stuff. And you see him in there in the mirror taking off his shirt, checking himself out. Show him that you're proud of him. Yeah, I see you. I mean, from that profile, you trimming on down. Look like you lost at least 5 or 10 ounces. But you don't say that. Don't say that. But show him that whatever goal he has set. I noticed that you've been waking up for prayer more. Proud of you. You said that you was going to start reading more. I've been seeing you even when you're tired, you go somewhere and you pick up a book. I'm proud of you. I seen you said that you was going to start doing so forth. I've been watching you do it. I'm proud of you. You said you was going to work on your patience and you've been doing a lot better. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to have you as my husband. That's the P. Then the next letter is what? E. That's what that man eats. If you want to love a black man, you remember Big Mama said that the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. It shouldn't be like that, but feeding that man good food is something you should do. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that a wife should not just be a cook or even a chef, but she should be a food scientist. This means that you have to assess as a woman, what does my husband do for a living? How much mental and physical labor is required for him to be successful in the chosen field of profession and the soldiering he must do for the cause he believes in? And what will be the appropriate balance of protein, carbohydrates, fiber, and fat that I could put together in a meal every day, that when he wakes up the next morning, he has the adequate amount of raw material to perform successfully. And when you get in there and you start making that navy bean soup and that homemade whole wheat bread, and you're cooking vegetables and you got a nice piece of fish that ain't greased up and dipped in fried this and breaded so forth, but just got good seasoning on it. Next thing you know, that man's getting all that good nutrition. And let me tell you something, sisters, the most important ingredient that you put inside of your food is not seasoning salt. It's not curry powder. It's not sea salt. It's love. And when you put love in that pot, he can taste it. And when you feed that man right, he'll wake up the next day ready to go out and conquer the world for you and your family. So make sure that black man eats right. Next letter is C. It stands for compassion. Men are more sensitive than what we act like we are. So be compassionate and considerate whenever you communicate with that man. Last but not least is T. Train your children to love their father. Do you know that children do not spell love L-O-V-E? Children spell love T-I-M-E. But if you are in this world right here, most of the time as a man, you don't have a lot of T-I-M-E, so you got to put in a lot of work. But if you got a man that's putting in a lot of work, you got to show your sons and daughters that this cold air condition in this home, that's love from your father. That full refrigerator, that's love from your father. That bed that you sleep in at night, that's love from your father. That tuition for that school, that's love from your father. The shoes you wear, that's love for your father. So don't ever get it twisted, son. He may not be around to catch the frisbee and throw the ball all the time. But don't ever get it twisted. He's showing his love by giving you an environment that you can be nurtured in. And when you train your children to love their father, and you at home cute and comfortable, cooking that good bean soup, that homemade whole wheat bread, that's food scientists making the adequate nutrition. See, whenever you train your children to love their father, when they hear them keys jingle at the door, soon they hear the keys jingle, you can say, uh-oh, daddy's home, your father's home, and they're going to do what? They're going to run to the door. Soon as you open the door, one daughter going to grab your leg, another son going to get on your head, the one going to jump on your neck, and they're going to say, daddy, daddy, we missed you, we missed you. Look at the love they showing their father. It makes all the hard work mean something. And whenever a man can come home, I don't care how beat up he is from the white man's world, when he got his son on one leg, daughter on another, baby on his neck, loving and kissing on him. Then he looks over the baby's shoulders and sees you back there, cute and comfortable, and smells that fresh homemade wheat bread and the aroma of that bean soup. I'm telling you, you're going to have a black man that's going to be loyal to you, that's going to love you, that's going to listen to you, that's going to be learning, that's going to be laboring for you and make you laugh all the time. And if we follow this system, brothers and sisters, we truly will be loving properly a black man and loving properly a black woman. Thank you all for listening. I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. All praise I do to Allah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all all right? Brother Jabari. I'm going to turn it over to Brother Jabari. I do want to let you know that we have, before we wrap all the way up, I have so much more I wanted to say. You see, I didn't even use my notes. So what I thought I was going to say, that's not what I said, but Allah is the best knower. But I want to tell you this, that if you got anything from the message, that lecture today is not even one chapter out of these two books. Before you say I do and after you say I do. So we have these available. This book, Well-Made Man, is a great spiritual tool you can put in your toolbox to help you become that kind of man that knows how to be that kind of man to your wife, and also will give you a good description on how and what you should be looking for in the one you're going to choose as your mate. Next, our best-selling book up until recently is The Black Woman, the Second Self of God. This is good for you, sisters, if you want to help yourself come off that clearance rack. Come on. And I'm going to say this. When you hear these titles, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said the greatest gift you can give anybody is the gift of knowledge. Don't just think about titles that'll be good for you. What about your nieces, your nephews, your brothers, your sisters, your neighbors, your co-workers? What title do you think will be a good book for them? Get it, and I'll be over to the side. I'll sign it for them, to them, and you can give it to them as a gift. Let this mind be in you. This is a synopsis on about 30 different subjects that are exclusive to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught on how you can make a heaven out of the life you live. 7 Jewels of God. This unpacks the scriptures of Bible and Quran and all the characteristics of God that are also human characteristics that are found in our DNA. Shows you how to tap into the God that's the supreme being and activate the God within to achieve whatever. And this second to last, this is our latest book that just came out. And this is the book that you've seen Nick Cannon talking about, and 19 Keys that we just did an interview with. This book has been, I'm telling you, this has been a book that has been the most transformative writing that I've ever done. From those, I wish I could tell you, I'm going to tell you this. There is at least, without giving all their names, there's at least 300 athletes and well-known entertainers that are nursing from this book, and all of them have said this is a book that's helped them level up in life. That's the mathematics of the mind. Last but not least, this is a book written by my precious daughter, may Allah be pleased with her, How to Heal and Hustle.
It's a good book to help you navigate through mental health challenges and how to balance and make a little money and manage your money a little better. It's a very good book for young people. Easy read, and it has a lot of quizzes and thought exercises in it. Hope you will get these books. We have all of them available right there. They are only $20, and I would be honored to get them to you, sign them, and hope you'll get some gifts for other people that you love that can help them out. Thank you all so much for enduring the heat. Thank y'all so much. She said, what heat? I ain't feel it. I felt it up here a little bit. But I want to turn it back over to our host, a great soldier. Let's give our brother that made this event possible, our brother. Let's give Brother Jabari a round of applause. Welcome, Brother Jabari, back.
Give it up for Brother Nuri Muhammad. Big round of applause. Oh, he laid it down tonight. So, brothers and sisters, what we want to do, we want to get ready to close out with the Harambes. We're going to stay here for a little while. We got the vendors that's here, but let's just close out the program with the Harambes. It's Mama Rashida, my brother that did the lights. Brother Ambu. Give him a big round of applause. He came in the last 2 days with the lights. We appreciate what he's done. And also, my barbering apprentice that we have in the place, Brother Zion in the back. Give him a big round of applause. Give all three, and then we have I don't know why that names is skipping my head right now. Brother Tavon, and we got Trey right here on the camera. Now I tell them when I teach them barbering, it's bigger than just cutting hair. It's about doing community work. It's about getting out in the community. So you'll see them very active in the community. A lot of my apprentice barbers that we have right now. So let's stand up, brothers and sisters. We can do the Harambes. And also, for anybody who wants to give a donation to what we've done here tonight or what we're doing, you can make a donation, whether it's a check. You can do Cash App, Zelle, Cash App and Zelle. That's pretty much as far as we can go with that. But Cash App, Zelle, and you can do cash if you want to do that. So you can actually make a donation. You can see my queen, Sister Monica, right there. If you want to make a donation right here, we're not going to pass it around. But if you wanted to make a donation, cash, whatever, you can actually do that. We would appreciate it, to help out with some of the things from this event here tonight. Give it up to Mama Kenda also, and Brother Simbi, the co-founder of Soul Vibers Nation. All right, so we're going to close out with Harambes, and we're going to come back and do a book signing and support the vendors. Did I forget anything? Okay, all right. Sometime, nothing but love. Let's give it up. We do Harambes. We do it 7 times. The 7th time, we hold it as long as we possibly can. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Harambe, 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 Harambe. Give somebody some love. Support the vendors. Don't forget, we can use your donations, so you can definitely give your donations to Sister Monica if you want to make a donation. We would have greatly appreciated it. Also, one of the barbers, Brother Tavon, if you could, can you get a list and for an email list that we can actually get right now? An email list. Just get a piece of paper so people can sign an email list. Put their emails on the list.
Also, brothers and sisters, if you would like to get a free copy of today's lecture, a digital copy sent to your phone, just text this number. Text the words Black Love to 317-548-8508. 317-548-8508. Somebody remember that and tell everybody. 317-548-8508. And text the words Black